Traditional baseball development is obsolete and dead. Velocity isn't just how fast a baseball travels, it's mindset and habits training, learning strategies, success routines, and so much more. I created this podcast for parents of middle school and high school baseball players. Baseball Velocity School. Baseball Velocity School.
As you get older, there's nothing more important than understanding having different perspectives is really everything. And when I coached in college, my son hadn't been born, and it was a completely different perspective with coaching players. And there was so much I may have known about baseball, but so little I understood about kids and about watching a kid grow up as your own child. And so when my son started playing baseball and I would sit and watch, there was this feeling I would have as a parent that I never had as a coach for other players. It was this feeling that I know that they could do more, and I knew that they were capable of more sometimes than they were showing, because they were changing. They were getting nervous. They were tensing up. They were just acting different. My son would act different. I just knew, this is not who he is. And as a coach without a son, I didn't understand that. And then as I sit there, you just want so badly for your son to show the things he's been practicing, the things he's been working on, and just be able to let his hard work show. And so that's why I think it's so neat that once I was able to have that perspective, it really helped me in so many different ways over the years of being able to understand both sides of it. And so as a parent, and this is what this entire podcast is about, as a parent watching your son play, when you watch the game speed up on him, when you watch him not be himself or tense up and change, it's very frustrating. And it's very frustrating because you know that there's a different type of player in there. And so learning that really made me understand how parents feel from this side, because I don't think it's a unique experience. And so when we train our players now, and when we talk to them, when we work mental game, it's really about having the right actions over and over and over in practice and in repetitions, with stress situations, with all kinds of pressure put on them. So when they go out there, they can be themselves and perform, because they are forced to be in those kinds of situations so many times that it's actually just their default. And when you can make that their default, when you can make controlled chaos a little bit of their default, they end up rising and actually being the player that you know they can be for them, right? And the big thing is it's for them. They've worked hard. They've done the things. And so as a parent, you want them to have success. You want them to do well, and you want them to thrive, and you want them to see, hey, your hard work's paying off. And so one of the things sitting back as a parent that I realized years ago was we have to put players in situations where they are able to thrive because they've been prepared at that level of stress or tension. And so the other thing is, guys, stress and tension and pressure, it may not seem that way to a parent or to somebody watching, because we're adults, and because your 16-year-old is playing in something that is really important to them, they put that stress on themselves. And so whatever they perceive the situation, if they perceive the situation as highly stressful or they get nervous, well, that is the reality to their situation. And sometimes I think as parents and even as coaches, we look and we say, oh, well, this guy shouldn't have this issue. This isn't a big deal. Well, what we need to remember is anything that they perceive as a big deal in their mind is a big deal. And so we need to be able to create, and parents put them in training situations or platforms, whatever your resources are, to be able to create that. So when you watch them, that is their default. They perform, they do well, and then they understand that it's not about performing in a relaxed, just lay-fair environment where they're just kind of hanging out and maybe taking swings or throwing a bullpen. It really comes down to, can they perform when things don't seem comfortable or there's a little bit of chaos? And so that's really my thoughts today, just a little bit of perspective on that, and being able to merge, the parent side with the baseball coaching experience. And really they're completely two different things. And I think as they merge and as I really sit down and try to digest both of them together, I think it makes for a very, very interesting kind of process of how I do things and how we teach our guys to do things. Have a great day. Talk to you later.
If you enjoyed this podcast, make sure to share it with a friend. And don't forget to go to jasonalamo.com to learn all about our middle school and high school baseball mentorship and training program. jasonalamo.com. Check it out.